Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fun review tonight, because this episode is simply magical. It's very rare that an episode like this comes along, and I think it just puts a little twinkle in my belly. This episode is a deliberate response to critics, or haters, or whatever. Like, I don't think that even the fans of Teen Titans Go wouldn't grant me that. I mean, for one, a lot of the fans of any show hate when that show farts out an episode like this. Look, I don't know what to say. Calling out your critics always looks tacky, especially if you don't seem to understand where the criticism's coming from. And after 100 episodes, it refuses to grow. Which brings us back to this episode, The Return of Slade. How does it start? Great! Horse ass. I thought we were past the stereotypes that bronies want to fuck horses, but gotta have those cheap shots and inside jokes. Although it does remind me of something else I should be doing. Next time. In all but advertising, this is a ratings trap. This trap plot was designed to get a very specific audience here and then dupe them into watching something else.
No, it's him! This is not the way we remember his act!
Okay, the original Teen Titans still holds up perfectly. I've watched a couple of episodes yesterday and they were exactly the way I remembered them. Except now as a fully functional adult, I can appreciate the work that went into them. Wait, what? I killed their whole argument? It's only been 30 seconds since they brought it up. Oh yeah, that's right, they built it on a straw man fallacy.
Clown is for kids.
Yes! Clowns are for kids!
I get it. Teen Titans Go is for kids. You know, that's kind of the problem. I'll even drop the batshit stupid morals from the argument. And let's even ignore the fact that as a kid show, Sophia the First is better than Teen Titans Go. But now we're in the 2010s with people looking back at the 90s. The 2010s has been one of the best decades in animation in terms of appealing to both children and adults. You know the argument, that the complainers want kids shows to be edgier? Let's see, how do I tackle this one? With the near universal hatred of Lunatics Unleashed for that reason? Do I tackle it with talking about amazing shows that aren't edgy in the slightest? Occam's Razor, I guess. No, people don't want the show to be edgy. Let's talk about Ren and Stimpy. By many, it was known as not very appropriate for children. To compete with it, other networks began making rip-offs, more or less removing the limits on what people could or couldn't do in a kids show. Because of that, with less than censors, we got shows like Courage the Cowardly Dog or the Powerpuff Girls, shows that were able to deal with harsher themes than cartoons had ever had. And they're both really well loved and well remembered to this day. Throughout the years, as people became more and more comfortable with the darker themes, we've been getting shows like Gravity Falls or Steven Universe. Do you want to talk about the influence of Batman the Animated Series? Your argument doesn't have a leg to stand on. Wait a minute, why are kids complaining? I thought kids liked Nightmare Before Christmas. And the irony is that when people don't hold onto their childhoods, instead of creating things like Gravity Falls or Steven Universe, they create things like Teen Titans Go. I still hold on to my childhood, and that makes me want to create cartoons, inspired from the ones when I was a child, the ones that still hold up, because as an adult, I can determine what works and what doesn't. Yes, Cartoon Network, I'm calling to try and get Teen Titans Go cancelled. It seems to be under the delusion that its style and theories are the savior that cartoons need and can be the prevention of an art form maturing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention another fallacy they brought up. Just because people want more cartoons that can appeal to adults, doesn't mean anyone is taking anything from kids. I mean, kids can still watch Friendship is Magic, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Gravity Falls, etc. But that's what this episode is, one giant fallacy. Teen Titans Go, I don't care that you make a kid's show. I care that you're bad at it, even under the apparently low standards of a kid's show. Yep, kids will watch anything. They'll also eat anything. Should we let them eat lead paint chips? Sure, teaching kids that girls are inherently better than boys, or that no one likes smart people, or that you should avoid responsibility isn't going to make the lives of kids any worse. And I guess you want your kids constantly nagging you for Teen Titans Go toys. Kids might not have standards, which is why we need a little bit of extra care. We do this in all other areas of children's lives. What makes entertainment the exception? I think I found it. I'm not exactly sure what I found, but I found it. I'll tell you what, it's perfect for October. I'm sorry, my brain is a little scrambled right now. We were talking about one of the most grotesque things that I've ever seen. Introducing the Brothers Grunt. Now, just looking at these characters makes me insanely nauseous. How do you instantly fail in the character design department? The answer is simple. Make it look like their mere existence is painful. Make it look like every second that they live is racked with the pain that you can only imagine through the lens of your worst nightmares and most twisted fantasies. Why are their veins so visible? Why does their skin look dead? Their eyes are all jaundiced. It feels like we should take them to the hospital as soon as possible, but it also looks like you can't, because on the way there, they die being so frail. The premise of the show is that the Brothers Grunt are on their way to find the Chosen One of their brothers who panicked and ran away. This episode starts in a peaceful park with an old woman feeding some pigeons, and she pulls out one of the brothers by his eye socket. Yeah, this show came out in the mid-90s, the heyday of everyone trying to rip off Ren and Stimpy. So this brother Grunt, he has a name but I don't give a fuck, brings the pigeon down to the underground lair with his brothers, who all have some kind of animal for some unexplained reason. The mentor guy says the brothers have completed their studies and meditations. Then we take a trip up the mentor's nose because I don't know. On the back of those, I don't even know what to call them. We follow the mentor as he uses a rake to open up flesh doors, and he finds them, still grotesque looking and in some kind of sludge. Then the mentor rubs the ass of a duck on all of their heads, except for one guy. The bird gets frightened and he is described as the Chosen One. His name is Harry, and he doesn't want to be the Chosen One. They have a celebration in some not funny ways, like trying to create the human centipede. When the Chosen One flat out disappears. He tosses away his crown and cape. I have no idea why. Usually in stories like this, it's because the Chosen One has way too many grand expectations on him that he just can't live up to. Here, however, we are given absolutely no explanations. I know that these are largely wraparound segments, but you can't just move the plot in random directions without explanation. And if you're saying that between 2 and 4 minutes isn't enough, you're wrong! Honestly, plot-wise, that's a major problem with this episode. It's in such a rush to get through the beginning, to get to the journey, that it doesn't really explain anything, or get any investment. It should have been 2 or 3 episodes instead of just 1. It should have been 2 or 3 episodes instead of just 1. Because of this, it gives the characters no personality of any kind. It doesn't even delve into the world very much. I know hardly anything about these creatures, or their society, or their relationship with humans. A good version of this type of thing would have done all of this. The Brothers Grunt didn't do any of these things. On top of that, the gross-out genre doesn't really lend itself to epic adventures that the Brothers Grunt tried to do. The rules of reality constantly change to get the maximum effect and gross out. And I'd go on, but the first episode is over and I can't stand looking at it anymore.